filter through this land of ours and fill a sportsman's dreams. Enjoy what nature holds for us, her bounty never ends. Getting back to basics with the practical sportsman. It's always an adventure, no matter where we go. From a favorite hunting spot to the hottest fishing hole. Outdoor life we all can share with family and friends. We'll do it all together with a practical sportsman. We'll do it all together with a practical sportsman.
Hello, sportsmen. Hey, let me tell you here at the Gander Mountain Store in Taylor, we have a load of Sportsman chairs set up for 150 people, and they're hanging out of the rafters, but this is going to be great. We have a show like you've never seen. We have some scent products, and you people are going to say, by the time this is done, that this show stinks. Guaranteed. You stay tuned. I'm Fred Trost, and it's time for the Practical Sportsman. When hunters talk about the behavior of whitetail bucks in the fall, this behavior here, a buck rubbing its head and eyes and muzzle on an overhanging branch, isn't given much attention. But smelling and rubbing these licking branches, as they're called, is much more prevalent than this behavior here that hunters focus on, the pawing of the ground. And hardly anybody spends much time on this behavior here, which is what deer spend an awful lot of time doing. See what the buck is doing? You know what he's doing? He's standing and listening and trying to see something. The point is, we have absolutely no idea what's going on in this deer's head. The flick of the tail, we've determined, means that the deer is comfortable, sort of an all-clear signal. But pawing the ground, we don't know if it means anything or not. We don't know what this rubbing is all about. But bucks spend much more time rubbing branches with their face and eyes than they spend making the scrapes under those branches. But nobody's come out with a facial oil from bucks or scent to put on these branches because the scientists can't agree on what the deer are doing or where the scent is coming from that the deer are rubbing on these branches. That's why hunters don't have any licking branch products to choose from. But scrapes, we can see scrapes. We can imitate them. We don't know what they mean, but an entire industry has developed around this behavior here, the buck urinating on the scrape. Now, hunters, by and large, have no idea of the chemical composition of urine, but they can see it and smell it and collect it and bottle it, and some people have found that you can sell it. Some hunters pay $10 and more for a small bottle on the theory that this urine in some way will attract bucks and make their deer hunting a little bit easier. Whitetail deer hunting is full of mysteries, which makes it fun. We think we know what they're doing, but we can't always explain why. Well, we'll talk about this in the next half hour, if we can just figure out what a buck is when we see one. Now it should be time for our trophy tales, and when we do this, we always tell what kind of trophy we have. I'm not so sure we can do it in this case. Steve Whitman from Lapeer, got a buck?
Well, it is a buck. It has antlers.
What is it?
And it was definitely a male. Well, that's the problem. I took it to the DNR, and they really don't know what it is. We had about a dozen wildlife biologists crawling all over it with tape measures and probes and flashlights. And they come away with the old standard, "I'll get back with you," and they just kind of shrugged their shoulders. But some were leaning towards a Sika, and others were saying it's like a hybrid mixed in with a bunch of different kinds of exotic deer. It's definitely an exotic deer.
It's an exotic deer. It's not a whitetail. We have this specimen right here. Come on down here, Steve, and tell me about this. You can see the size of it is a lot smaller. Do you know what it weighs?
Not exactly. I'm guessing about 100 pounds. But it was interesting when the wildlife people were going over this to listen to them talk, because they said it has horns of like a mule deer. It has the tooth structure of an elk. And
well, that meaning that little canine tooth on the top?
The canine teeth in the top. I guess that's like an elk. But it's nothing of any of those types, really. It doesn't really conform to any exact type that they knew of.
Well, the coloration on it. I mean, it does look, it has a little of the brown in there, like a a whitetail.
Coming into the stand, it looked all black. But when you see up here real close, it does have some brown tinges to it. But look at this little tail.
That's a cute little thing.
It's
what was the tail?
15 centimeters it measured. And it's kind of grayish brown underneath with black on top.
What was the deer doing when it came in?
Well, it was running with a doe. It was about 2 foot taller at the shoulder. I'm sure he was calling her honey as he was running along beside her. But
you mean a regular whitetail, though?
Yeah, it was with a whitetail. And a couple of years ago, we saw a doe that looked very similar to him. And at the time, I thought, well, that's just a goofy-looking little doe. And I never drew the correlation that it would be some kind of an exotic deer until I got him.
Well, now check the face out on this. What do they tell you about the face? Look at the...
It's got fuzzy hair on the top here like a calf. If you look right in the top here, it looks just like a calf. It's got real pronounced scent glands on it, small ears.
Oh, and
they said the head had sort of the configuration shape of a Sika deer.
And what about the mane?
Yeah, here the mane is about 3 or 4 inches long in places, and it was all full of burrs like this right here. And it also has a line of hair on the chest that would make you think of a mane. Almost like a goat's beard on the front is what I thought at first when I looked at it.
Now, we have a couple questions we can do right here, and one of them is, what did Steve get, and what was this deer doing up in Lapeer around the land you own, woods and a tree farm?
Right. The DNR did ask if there was a wildlife farm near me, and not that I know of.
Well, that's one question. What is it? A second question is, Steve tagged his buck. Now, this being the type of buck it is, what did he put on the tag? And why did he tag it? Aha! We have a couple guys here that know the answers, right?
I think so.
You think you do?
I think we do.
Okay, they've got it pretty much figured out. We've been debating this hotly here for the past minute or two, but I'm going to ask you a couple questions here. First of all, and this is a $5 question. In the Michigan Hunting and Trapping Guide, does it refer to hunting white-tailed deer? Does it have white-tailed deer in here?
Yes, it does.
Yes or no?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
You're going to say no?
Okay.
You get the $5. All it says in this guide is deer hunting and deer license. Nowhere does it say white-tailed deer. Question number 2 for $5. If Steve had not tagged that deer and taken it to the DNR, would he have gotten a ticket?
Yes, I'd say yes too.
Good, I get to keep the $5. Let's go to Steve and hear the rest of the story. No? Steve Whitman used his archery tag to tag this as a male 6-point and the date, so he used his tag on it. Now, what did the DNR say?
The DNR said that I could have shot this animal in July. It was nothing more than there's no more rules on this than there is a fella going out and shooting a chicken in his backyard.
So even though it is a deer,
I didn't know that, and I'm trying to do the legal thing, so I got the tag right out and got it on there. My first deer ever.
No kidding.
43 years old, and this is my first deer. The wife says, leave it to you to get the most oddball deer in the woods.
Well, and according to the DNR, it's not even a deer that needed to be tagged.
Right.
So maybe you didn't get a deer?
Well, they said it's definitely a deer.
Okay.
In fact, I've got a patch here
You've got a patch?
that says, by God, you got a deer,
A
Steve.
successful hunter. Steve, congratulations.
Thanks, Fred.
You did a heck of a job, but thanks for the story. You going to get this mounted?
I'm thinking about it. I know it's quite the expense, but there's nothing like it.
There's
So.
nothing like it at all. So, put yourself in Steve's shoes, okay? You shot a deer the DNR tells you you didn't have to tag. Steve asked him, which you didn't say on the tape right there, he asked him if he could get another tag then for, a lost tag. And they said no, because you didn't lose it. Now, you two fellas here have lost licenses, right?
Right.
And what have you done?
I had to buy a new one.
I had to buy a new one.
Okay. It says right in here that if your license is lost, now what does it say about lost? Does it have to be like you can't find it? Or what if it's mutilated? Or what if you put it on a wrong deer?
Ooh, you can't put it on a wrong deer.
You can't?
No.
What do you say?
I'd say not.
You'd say not. I was going to give you $5 here, which I just might. Now, our practical attorney, Sal Ghani, I asked him, do you think the DNR has a leg to stand on in preventing him from getting a second license as a lost license? What do you think Sal told me?
Buy a new one.
That he can buy a new one?
Yeah.
What do you think?
You know, it's debatable the way the DNR goes with their laws. You know, I always say no.
You say no. Good. I only have one $5 bill. There you go. Now we'll go to our practical attorney, Sal.
Well, I think, Fred, using your term, he does have a leg to stand on. In this case, he misplaced his license. In his mind, he lost it because he tagged something that wasn't a deer, could not reuse that license. He goes to Myers and says, I want a new license, I lost my license. If it indicates to him he lost his license, he can get a replacement license, basically repaying the fee, and they'll generate him a lost license. The problem here is he told the DNR that he tagged something that wasn't a deer. There is no definition, and not a clear definition on the term lost. The DNR's definition of lost is that it's not lost, the license is no longer usable. In his mind, he lost the license because he misplaced it on something that wasn't a deer. He believes he's entitled to another license, and I've got to concur with his opinion. I think that he's entitled to another license because it was misplaced on something that wasn't a deer, and I think he does have a leg to stand on. I defend him.
Now, the theme of this show very soon is going to be scents, okay? Scents. So I want you to use your scent glands here, your nose, to tell me what's in that.
Onions and garlic.
Broccoli and soy sauce.
Smells like onions.
Onions? Any
Yeah.
garlic?
A little bit.
Oh, we got mushroom. We got somebody who can smell mushrooms from 10 feet away. Holy cow. Let's go to Charlie Keenan and find out what's in this dish.
Fred, tonight's recipe is quick and easy stir-fry grouse. The first thing we're going to do is fillet a couple of grouse breasts. This is a nice way to cook this up because you can look and check for all of that number 8 shot that's in there. After we get it filleted off the bone, cut it up into smaller pieces against the grain. Put a bead of oil around the inside of the wok and make sure that wok is nice and hot. That's really the key to cooking stir-fry. Put the grouse in there, and when you see it start to change color, you can start adding the other ingredients. We're going to have bamboo shoots and some water chestnuts and some pea pods. Sprinkle in the soy sauce and stir this up and serve it over a bed of rice. Marvelous dish, good for winter.
Where's the broccoli, man?
Well, I thought that was broccoli.
No, you were smelled it. You can't go by looking
I was
at
thinking
it.
we need broccoli.
Oh.
That's
I see. Was there enough garlic and onions in there for you?
Oh, definitely.
I want to know the guy who called the mushrooms. Did you find the mushrooms?
Mushroom stems.
That's what they look like. Okay. No, it is kind of interesting smelling it. The rest of you smell this?
Great.
Smells pretty good?
Really.
Oh, and you
I told some of his, my sons over
what'd you
here.
think of that stir fry?
Excellent, excellent.
Has lots of salt in it and everything, and kind of pops out the flavor.
Oh yeah, grouse is great.
Okay. Anybody smell the grouse? Oh, you lie. Huh? You.
I said it was grouse.
Oh, golly. I tell you what, we got to right now get to the map and find out where Matt Radzlowski has the hot spots for this weekend. Do you realize how many scent manufacturers who put urine in a bottle have contacted me in the past several years?
No.
You're the first.
Really?
Isn't that scary?
I don't know if it's scary. We don't have anything to hide, Fred. The company's called Outdoors America. We're out of South Alabama, and we've introduced a product line called Code Blue. And what it is the way the scent industry collects deer urine. Just about all the scent companies in America, if not all of them, the way they do it is and this is nothing new. They were doing it 10 years ago, they were doing it 3 years ago, and they're doing it today. Every scent company in America, the way they collect urine is they collect urine, say you got 10 does, 50 does, 100 does. The way they collect urine is they collect urine from 15, 20, 30 deer at the same time over a period of time. So what you have in a bottle is a blend of aged urine. I mean, any way you look at that, what you have in a bottle is a blend of aged urine. Outdoors America, what we have is we have a patent pending on a process that we collect from a little over 100 deer, but individually. 1 deer per bottle.
Okay, now, of course, I
Sure,
ask you,
absolutely.
why is that better?
Well, what that does, Fred, is, well, first of all, not only do we collect 1 deer, 1 bottle, in other words, for instance, we collect from 1 buck, 1 bottle. 1 doe, 1 bottle, 1 fox, 1 bottle, 1 coon bottle, 1 bottle. Our patent pending process covers any animal, the collection of urine from an animal, from a single animal. And so what that does is not only did we have that process of one deer, one bottle, that's great. But what we did, we also went to a national registrar. This national registrar came in and certified our process. What they did is came in and verified and gave us a certificate of authenticity saying that yes, this company is based on their process, is in fact doing what they said they're doing. Then every bottle that we sell, for instance like this doe estrus here, every bottle that we sell, this is a one doe, one bottle, then every bottle, you can see that certificate in there, behind it there.
You can see it there.
Every bottle that we sell comes with a certificate. Now this certificate comes from this national registrar. This is not John Doe taking Don Bell's word that, hey, this is one deer. This is legally one deer, one bottle. Then we went a step farther. On every bottle that we sell, doesn't matter what it is, when you buy it and you open it up, not only is it certified with a certificate, but it also has a number on the back of it, a code, to where John Doe, as soon as he buys it, he can pick up the phone and call us, and while he's on the phone, I can tell him with that number which deer it came from and the day it was bottled. Pretty neat.
Does anybody have any questions about this process? Lots of them, lots of them. That's what I have a group picked out here. I got a whole peanut gallery back here of hunters. What comments do you have after hearing this?
I'd say fresh odor.
Fresh odor would be the reason that would work?
Well, I'd like to know if it's pure and the whole bottle's collected from one animal with nothing else added in.
Okay, we'll be coming up on that.
Okay, my question also, is it 100% pure, and how effective is it depending on age of the
animal?
No, age of the specimen.
Okay.
Collected.
Tell you what, we got a lot of questions here, but can anybody think of any reason why there would be an advantage of having one deer in that bottle versus a whole bunch of deer? You got an idea?
Yeah, I think that it would be more pure. It'd be easier to control the health of one animal than a whole herd and mixing their urine together.
Anybody have any ideas on how it would affect other deer?
Yeah, it would be like humans, with each of us got our own different odor, and maybe that has something to do with it.
We finally got onto the sales pitch. Let's go to Don Bell and hear the sales pitch of the theory of why this might work.
Code blue, one deer, one bottle. I come in this morning, screws up, can't help you. He's gone. You come back this afternoon, same stand, hunt a different bottle, different deer. That buck comes back through, he looks like an AWACS plane, them ears coming through there because he's spooked. He's real hesitant to come in there. He's coming back through, he smells another buck or another doe, different doe, calms down. One deer, one bottle.
Okay, we're getting together here on the theory. The theory is a different bottle represents a different deer. You put it out, the buck comes in, and he knows which one is different. Now, does that make sense?
Sure, I agree with that.
Yeah, I could see where it would work that way.
Well, the warmth would be different. It would be cooled down, but it might have, I don't know if it'd be as fresh. I couldn't answer that.
Yeah, I believe it would be, it would work like that.
Okay, so the theory is making sense. Now, a number of you have asked about the purity of this, you in particular. What did you want to know?
Well, I'd like to know if the scent was collected, the whole bottle scent was collected from one animal and nothing else added to fill the bottle up.
If anything else was added, does that bother you?
Well, there's companies make claims that it's pure and there's 100% doe urine. And I've used scents and it's worked for me, but I think it would be to the advantage if it was 100% right from the animal.
You'd like that?
Oh, yes.
Let's go to Don Bell and find out if there's anything else in these bottles.
No, this is what we do. This is urine from one deer.
But it's urine from one deer, but it has some preservative so it doesn't break down and rot, right?
No, actually, we don't have that in there.
You don't have preservative.
What we do is this. This is kind of, I know it's kind of unique. Now, the way we do this is, and let me see how I can tell you without telling you exactly how we do it. The way we do it is that we collect urine from a single individual animal. And what's so neat about this is that the way the rest of the industry has always done and currently does is they collect from X, Y, Z deer, a bunch of deer over a period of time, so what you have is a blend and it's aged. Well, then after a certain period of time, they bottle it. Well, what we do...
Well, they may bottle it a year later or 2 years later.
Yeah, I don't know what all of them do, but I do know that...
Are you getting to the point that you
Yes,
bottle
sir.
this right away?
Yes, sir, exactly what I'm saying. Within hours.
Whoa.
Within hours from the time you're a buck and we're collecting from you singly, daily within hours from the time that you urinate, we bottle it, cap it, and refrigerate it. See, this is what's so neat about this. And then we keep it refrigerated till we ship it. And so, you know, it's as fresh as we can get it. And there are preservatives that you can use. And that's not to say that we won't choose later to do that. And, but what we are saying is one deer, one bottle. And it's pretty neat.
Now, you know what we did during the recipe? We let people smell the recipe. We're going to do the same type of thing here, but no tasting, please, guys. No tasting, please. Here's our gentleman here who is going to check out our Code Blue. Go ahead. Now, this is pure 100%. You're shy.
Ooh. No, I'm not shy. I could smell it. It's pretty potent.
Well, it closed your eyes there. If we had an instant replay on that, like on Letterman. How is it?
Strong.
Strong? Strong. Now, does that mean it would work well? Oh, he puts it right up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very strong.
Right now, let's go to Don Bell and find out the 1995 perspective from a scent manufacturer on the importance of scents in hunting.
What this is and what I'm saying right now today, Fred, is not something that I haven't said in the past 8 years all over this country. Scents and lure is nothing more than an aid. It is not the answer in and of itself. No more than a grunt call is, no more than a rifle is. There's nothing in this world that replaces woodsmanship. Nothing. I don't care. I mean, if you're not in the right place where deer are, nothing's going to help you. This is not a cure-all. It is a good aid. And there's deer killed all over this country and have been for years with lure. And same way with the grunt call. Some people say, I never grunt in like a pig. You know, I grunt like a pig, I never see anything. But it's an aid. And at the right place at the right time, it can be a very positive aid. But in and of itself, it's not the answer. But with woodsmanship, it can become very effective for the hunter.
Don Bell is careful not to oversell the effect of bottled deer scents. He knows how I feel about truth in advertising, and he says that his company can trace the contents of every bottle down to the deer and to the day it was collected. Now keep in mind that nobody knows if a bottle of urine from one deer will actually work better than a bottle collected from 100 deer. It's just a theory. Only a deer could give us that answer, but deer can't talk. So that part of the mystery may always stay in the bottle. If you decide to use a deer scent, don't expect miracles, just expect to have fun and good luck.
We just had a question here as to which way is downwind. Funny you should ask. Upwind and downwind is very important when you're using scents, because if the deer is upwind, it won't smell the thing at all, right? With any luck at all, this fan is blowing that way, and you people are upwind. You'd like that for a change, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, what we have here is deer scents. Have you heard of deer scents, these sticks that you light? Okay, we're going to light these babies. And they are like incense. Well, they're sort of like incense. This is a urine smell that is a chemical type of smell. And we're going to see here. You think it'll blow if we put it behind? Go ahead, put it in front, Matt. There we go. Now see if downwind works. Oh, we've been waiting to do this. Can anybody smell anything? Huh? Does it smell good? Pardon? Can you smell it? Yes. How far down can you smell it? Yes. Can you get it all the way back there? Okay, now here's a lesson in using scents. Can you people back here smell it? Isn't that interesting? Okay, my message this week, folks, I hope you can all get outdoors. It's a great place to be if you're upwind. Enjoy yourselves, folks.
Oh, the people sitting downwind started clearing the room immediately. We figured that would happen. We want to thank the folks at Gander Mountain and Taylor for hosting us for this program. Next week, a special show that includes an exclusive interview with Governor Engler about the new DNR, a region-by-region forecast for this year's deer season from wildlife biologist Gary Bushell,